Hello，大家好，欢迎大家来到读书时间。我们今天继续读《Soft Hearts: A Rett Swinson Mystery》这本书。好，我们现在开始。Anything that one's assailant may have dropped. Finding neither matchbook nor business card, I stood and walked over to the dining room table where Angela had been sitting. Bending down again, I did find something along the back wall, but I can't say it thrilled me. Several dead bugs of various sorts cluttered around a half-dozen moss balls. Their chemical reek tickling my nostrils. Either of two external openings of the nasal cavity in vertebrates and admit air to the lungs and smells to the olfactory nerves. If I spoke to Trent again, I'd ask him if the preservatives had been packed with the dragon mask in its box. Finding dead bugs in Wanda's otherwise pristine home bothered me. Pristine home. Its original condition unspoiled, as they seemed to verify Eleanor's infestation obsession. This I could remedy. I located the front porch broom from my previous adventure there and a dustpan from under the kitchen sink. Swept the bugs into the pan, then tipped them into one of the Ziplocs Sheila and had given me. They grossed me out, but maybe Sheila could make of the insects a nice meal for Matilda. If Wanda really was finicky about indoor cleanliness, as her daughter claimed, I imagined her feeling grateful for my small gesture. Finicky of a person, fuzzy about their needs or requirements. The books were my final stop. Most were collections by poets I recognized from the Sublime Lights volume. I chose an anthology of romantic verse and chose Anthology. Published collection of poems, other pieces of writing. And walked it into the adjacent living room where a representative of Gala Estate sales was sitting at a long fold-out table processing customer purchases. Gala Estate. What do you do with all the items you can't sell? I asked the woman. I gave her my $1. It's up to the owner. Sometimes they donate them, sometimes they send everything to the dump. If there is anything left and Angela is willing, maybe she can donate it to needless necessities. I handed her one of the center's cards. Just call and they will pick it up. They are a non-profit that supports artists and recycling. They have a thrift store too. She promised to keep the card and share the information with Angela. I took my book and left through the front door, unable to forget the promise I'd made here nearly a week ago, wondering how in the world I was going to keep it. When I pulled up in front of my home and a moment later, Lydia was running across the street toward me, her quilting basket in hand. I rolled down my window and shouted, "What's going on?" Forgetting that she couldn't talk, she ignored me, of course, and continued to the passenger side, letting herself in. At the same time, Doris was emerging from her New Yorker. "Give me a second," I told Lydia. I got out of the car and went over to speak with her cousin. "Doris," I said, "what's going on with Lydia?" She spoke with clenched teeth. "I was going to take cousin to her rehab appointment, but she ran. She needs to come on right now, or we will be late. Enough of this tomfoolery." Foolish or silly behavior. One moment, I walked back to my car and poked my head in. "Is rehab really that bad, Lydia?" She pointed past me toward her cousin, grabbed her own throat with both hands, and produced a gurgling sound. Making or characterize a hollow bubbling sound. Gurgling sound. "Let me guess," I said. "You're dying of boredom." Lydia nodded and scrunched up her face like she was about to cry. Make a loud, crouching noise. I turned and shouted to Doris, "Mrs. Schmidt seems to be having a moment. Why don't you let me take her to rehab today? I'll take her to quilting as well and then to lunch. It'll give you a stretch of freedom. Suit yourself, she said. I will stay here and can some pears. I thought about the golden pear missing from Wanda's kitchen, and then I had another idea. Doris, do you think you could make a couple pies for an event next Saturday? I quickly filled her in about the fundraiser. I don't fiddle with pies, she said, as if pies had done her a great insult. Fiddle with pies. I don't make cobblers. Person whose job is mending shoes. I only make cobblers. Cobblers are awesome. An iced drink made with wine or cherry, sugar, and lemon. Dessert consisting of fruit baked in a deep dish with a thick cake-like crust on top. Man's testicles. Last sheep to be sure. Cobblers are awesome, I said. Please, Lord, let no one be recording the corny ass shit coming out of my mouth these days. When I got behind the wheel, Lydia wiped the imaginary sweat from her brow. Lydia, I will try to find ways to rescue you occasionally when I'm not too busy, okay? She took my hand and began stroking it like a prized pet, over and over. But you can't be doing that. Stroke once in general. As a rehabilitation At the rehabilitation center, most of the other patients were visibly worse off than my friend. Visibly worse off than my friend, trying with superhuman effort to get one side of their bodies to respond. As I watched the speech therapist work with Lydia, I reconsidered that assessment. Not being able to form words, having them get lost somewhere between brain and tongue was in some ways even more difficult to witness. Writing like speech wasn't going well for my friend either. It is a language making problem, not merely a speech problem, said the therapist. we're going to get good at thinking words again, and then we will get better at saying them. The doctor had told Daryl we would see progress, though he had said it might be slow. The Lydia struggled. The therapist gave her plenty of time before asking, "Are you trying to say thank you?" Lydia nodded. "You're welcome," the therapist said kindly. 好，谢谢大家，我们今天先读到这里吧，那我们下次再见了，拜拜。